It's Rivalry Saturday in Bowling Green, Kentucky, with two schools 100 miles apart meeting in Conference USA action. The Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders visit the WKU Lady Toppers. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Jeff Greer alongside John Butler. And John, this is a true rivalry game on a Saturday. Really looking forward to this matchup.
Yeah, got two really good teams. Been playing since the 1920s, so hopefully we'll have a great game tonight. A much needed win for both teams to try to get to the top of the conference. Middle
Tennessee has won the last 4 meetings between these two teams, including the meeting this season. 71-64 back in January, and we are just about ready to go at EA Diddle Arena on WKU's campus. WKU wearing their white unis with the red lettering and trim. Middle Tennessee wearing their royal blue uniforms tonight with the white lettering and black trim as well. And right out of the gate, Jaylin Foster with the steal and the run-out layup.
Well, you can't ask for a better start if you're a Lady Topper fan. Steal to start the game. And Lady Toppers have been struggling the last 2 games, been blown out on the road both games. That's a start that they wanted.
Right back in the other direction, a layup for Dor Sar.
Yes,
the 5th-year senior, from Israel.
Yeah, transferred from Maine, played 4 years at Maine, scored over 1,000 points. That was a simple ball screen. Nobody picked her up that time for the Lady Toppers.
Inside to Tori Hunter, turns it up and missed it. And Middle Tennessee, no changes in their starting 5 from a win against Marshall. A good win last time out as Dor Sar comes clattering in with a layup, missed it. Whereas Western Kentucky, the first time this season with the starting 5 they have out there, Tori Hunter making her first career start. You just saw her underneath missing that layup. Fast start to this one.
Both teams really, really good three-point shooting teams. And there's one right there by Gregory, Jalen Gregory, a really good freshman, averaged double figures from Tennessee. Shoots at 36%. That was nothing but the bottom.
49th three-pointer of the season for Gregory out of Lafayette, Tennessee. It's Alexis Mead, the point guard, freshman from California for Western Kentucky. Jaylin Foster, another freshman, sizes up the baseline jumper. She has the first 4 points for WKU.
Yeah, Jaylin Foster is, since she's been put into the lineup several games back, she is really, really starting to play well. Another one of the good freshmen.
Dor Sar is having her way to the rim so far. The all-time leading scorer in Maine program history, transferring to Middle Tennessee and having great success here again as a 5th-year player. Foster's jump shot is off, and Gregory comes down with it. Our first look at Courtney Whitson in that number 33 jersey as Sar fires up a 3 and got it right away. Sar and Gregory come out firing.
She was 0 for 6 against Marshall, but she leads the team in three-point shooting made this year.
One of 5 internationals on this Middle Tennessee roster as Macy Blevins misses the 3. Here comes Sar again, cooking early. Inside, wide open is the 6'6" freshman Anastasia Boldareva. And we'll take a quick timeout. Middle Tennessee leading WKU 12-4 in the first 3 minutes. Well, life for WKU has been a little bit more difficult the last couple of times out after Maya Meredith, the standout freshman. You can see her there behind Greg Collins, the head coach, injured her knee against Old Dominion. She'd started 18 games this season and was the 2nd leading scorer on the team, averaging almost 13 points and 5 rebounds a game. Jeff Greer, John Butler here with you. And John, that is a big miss for these Lady Tops late into the conference season.
Yeah, not only was she their 2nd leading scorer, she's the 2nd leading rebounder, and she could create her own shot too. So yeah, they've been 2-2 since. It's a big loss. And she had surgery last week, and you know, the good news right now is with ACL recoveries, it used to be a knock you out for a year and a half, and these kids come back much quicker. So we wish her the best. And that's a nice 3. Speaking of a good freshman, Macy Blevins hits the 3 off the timeout, which is exactly what you want from Western Kentucky.
Macy Blevins making her 44th three of this season, but Dor Saar has come out absolutely pushing the envelope early, up to 9 points, 2 rebounds, and an assist for the fifth-year point guard from Middle Tennessee, and she's got her team up 7 early. Here's Maral Abdelgawad, the second leading scorer in Conference USA. Shot up inside, it's bounced around and saved underneath by Whittington. Back in the other direction, layup missed, or excuse me, that was Whitson who saved it and Whittington who missed the layup. Now Blevins has it stolen by Whittington. You're going to need to make sure you get a cup of water during the timeouts because you're not going to get any other breaks.
Both teams push the tempo, to say the least.
Top defense in Conference USA against the top offense. And a foul out front on Maral Abdelgawad.
And Whitson, number 33, and Whittington, 23, they've been around. They're seniors and juniors, but they are really playing well right now.
Middle Tennessee 20-5 this season. As we get our first look at a jumper from Boldareva, the freshman center from Moscow, Russia, missing.
She's really picked up the tempo here lately. Her minutes have gone up, and as well as her points. And you know, when you're 6'6", there's not a lot of teams in the country that have 6'6" players that can play.
Mead out front. He's been exceptional as a freshman. Abdelgawad off to Foster for 3. Got it.
It's only
Jaylin Foster.
It's only her fifth three of the year. She's only shooting about 18%, but that, I think all 5 of her threes have come in the last 10 games.
Looks good. She's got 7 early points. Saar to around Abdelgawad. This is Courtney Whitson off to Saar again. Saar, a member of the Israeli youth national teams, kicks it to the corner. 3-ball, Jalen Gregory.
That's what she does well. She got over 2,200 points in high school. She's had 27 this year as a freshman. She will definitely be on the all-freshman team. Really good shooter.
Jumper back in the other direction.
Lexi Mead coming off a ball screen. That's not an easy shot off the ball screen. The player went underneath it, and she stepped back and made the 3.
5 early threes between these two teams.
So they're number 1 and number 2 in the conference. Middle Tennessee is number 1 at shooting at 32% and has the most made. Western Kentucky is second.
Saar steps into a mid-range jumper, in and out. Just the 4th miss of the game.
Great pass.
Nice pass ahead, and Foster finishes.
Great pass by Lexi Mead, leads the team in assists and put the ball right on the money that time to Foster. Got a good one here, 17-15. If you like offense, this is what you got here.
3-pointer from Whittington missed. Good fight underneath by Whitson, and it's down loose. Gabby McBride fell on it, the redshirt freshman.
Well, that's what a rivalry does right here. The effort has been tremendous right there. Both teams going at it. As you can see right here, there's Courtney Whitson and Gabby McBride going after it. Good hustle on both teams.
Hope Savory has checked in for the Lady Tops along with Jenna Walker. Middle Tennessee trying to find good looks from 3 for Gregory. Gregory, good pass into the corner, good off-ball movement by Whitson, and a 3-ball.
That's money right now. She's coming off a 19-point game against Marshall, and she shoots 32%, but she has been really on a roll here lately.
Mead out front, trying to dribble through a couple of trees and gets the foul.
It's going to be on Whittington, right across the arm. The ball screen is giving both teams problems right there. As you can see, that time the ball screen, and that time Boldareva did not step up and hedge on that screen and give an easy drive that time to Lexi Mead.
First foul on Boldareva as Mead makes the first of her 2 free throws.
right there is one of the big keys for Western Kentucky. And, you know, with the loss of Maya Meredith, everybody else kind of has to step up a little bit. And Mead's been good all year, but it's even more critical right now for Western Kentucky's chances. She has to play well. And that's asking a lot from a freshman point guard.
So All-State out of California last year, set her high school's assists record as a freshman. So you know she can play a little bit.
There is probably, at minimum, 4 players out here tonight that are probably going to be first-team all-freshman team. And there's another bomb that time by Saar.
Dor Saar has 12 points for Middle Tennessee. Nice play by Mead. Got her own miss. The smallest player on the floor tracks down her own miss and finds a teammate, Jaylin Foster, for 2.
She gets the miss, she gets the offensive rebound, and then Lexi Mead gets the assist to Foster.
Breakneck pace in this first quarter.
This is fun to watch. Both teams playing well. Not a lot of mistakes, it's just good play.
Middle Tennessee led by as many as 18 in the last meeting. WKU came back, took a 1-point lead in the third quarter, but Middle pulled away in the fourth. Jenna Walker, guard from Alabama, kicks it back out to Hope Savory from Louisville, sophomore. Nice pass, got deflected though. Last second, Savory staying with it, pestering Whittington.
Close to 10 seconds, but got it across.
This is Whitson. And Saar will slow it down a little bit. Dor Saar from Israel. And there's a foul away from the ball.
It's going to be on McBride, I think, on the ball screen. Western Kentucky's playing this ball screen different than I've seen all year, and they're not hedging at all. And what they're trying to do is jam the screener, and they want the person guarding the ball to go under. And they've had confusion so far today. That's why they've given up the 2 straight layups by Dor Saar, because I do not remember them ever guarding the ball screen quite this way.
Your officials today, by the way, Doug Knight, Carla Fountain, and Bill Lawrence, as another whistle comes underneath. And that one is going to be on Savory.
Yeah, I think that was the right call that time. Hope Savory doing the right thing. You want your guards to get in there and dig when the ball goes to the post, and came across the arm.
Selma Kulo and Teresa Faustino are now in the game for WKU. Nice cut from Whitson, and she's fouled at the rim.
You know, it's a good inbounds play. If you can score against a good team on an inbounds play, it's like receiving free money. I mean, these are free baskets, and that was a really good inbounds play. And one of the Western Kentucky players got lost right there. Sees the cut, and that's the correct call on the foul on Foster. It's the other thing about Middle, one of the better free throw shooting teams. They're shooting 73%, which is good, but their best players are all right around 80%.
Well, their leading scorer, Ksenia Malashka, has checked in wearing the number 5 jersey.
She's another international player from Belarus.
Transferred over from VCU, a 6-foot forward, as Walker runs into a tie-up. And the possession arrow is pointed to WKU. Good fight there between Whittington and Walker.
Yeah, a little bit of a slow whistle, to say the least, and a lot went on afterwards.
Trying to go for the touchdown pass, Savory, and it skipped off the hands of Selma Kulo, and a turnover on WKU. Both teams at 15 possessions in a little more than 9 minutes played.
Whitson again, it's her second 3. She could play on my team any day.
5 threes in this first period for Middle Tennessee.
But they had 11 Thursday against Marshall. So, you know, one of the things, it's hard to do, but if you're coaching, if you could have 5 3-point shooters on the floor at all time, you're going to be hard to guard, and that's what they have.
Saar out front, guarded by Savory. 17 on the shot clock, 24 on the game clock. Saar off to Whittington, hometown kid, and there's a foul called out front. on Foster.
That's big. That's her second. That's big because Foster has really played well. She's got 11 of the 19 points. And Western Kentucky does not need to lose that size. Puts Whitson back on the line. 72%, I believe, for the year. No, 75% for the year.
Two-time All-Conference USA Tournament selection. Scored 2,500 plus points in high school.
What I like about her, she averages 38 minutes a game. You got to be in pretty good condition. Does not come out because it's not like she just rests on one end. She brings it on both ends.
Final 10 seconds, and there's almost a takeaway. No, he kept it in. It's Gregory all the way to the rim. Got the layup just before the end of the first quarter, and Middle Tennessee's lead balloons out to 13 at the end of the first. Got a fast pace here in Bowling Green, and Middle Tennessee red hot, 11 of its first 17 through the first 10 minutes. Middle Tennessee is off to a blazing hot start, 6 of 8 from three-point range to build a 13-point lead, led by Jaylin Gregory, the freshman who was a Miss Basketball finalist in the home state of Tennessee. She's got a couple of threes, and then Dor Saar has been fantastic, 5 of 8 from the field, 2 threes, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists to start this game off. Jeff Greer, John Butler, Middle Tennessee, blowing the doors off.
I tell you what, you're talking about hot right now. And we didn't even mention Courtney Whitson's 2 out of 2 from 3 as well. I mean, they are shooting the eyes out of it. I mean, Western Kentucky's 3 out of 4 from 3. I mean, that's not bad at all. And but the inability to slow down Middle right now is obviously a big problem for the Lady Toppers. 5 turnovers for the Lady Toppers, only 1 for Middle Tennessee.
5 assists on 11 baskets for Middle Tennessee. 4 assists on 7 for WKU as Middle Tennessee in possession here. Courtney Whitson driving left. Back out to Dor Saar. Whitson, Saar, and Alexis Whittington, 3 of the top 4 minutes per game in the whole league, is driving all the way to the basket is Malashka.
Too easy. She had 21 the first time against Western Kentucky and really was the difference maker. Not many players come off the bench to lead the team in scoring, and she is this year.
Selma Kulo with a nice roll to the basket there, draws the foul. And this game is ballooned out awfully quickly because Western will feel like they haven't gotten off to the worst start. And they're already down 15.
Well, the good news is if you're going to get behind, you prefer to get behind early. There's plenty of time to come back. And they do have a memory. The last time at Middle, Western Kentucky trailed 18 in the first half and came back. So that's the positive if you're a Western Kentucky fan. But defensively right now, the Lady Toppers are struggling. They were very fortunate that time. Left wide open that time. Malashka, she just turned it over on a walk.
The redshirt junior out of Minsk, Belarus.
You can see right there, it was open and kind of lost her balance. Middle Tennessee, not only are they a good shooting team, an offensive team, they're 19th in the country in scoring defense. And that was the one figure that surprised me when I was doing some research on it. Only give up 54 points a game.
One of the most complete teams in the country.
They really are. And Conference USA has been a one-bid late league lately. But to me, and I've watched Middle play a couple of times, they look like an NCAA tournament team to me.
Boldereva is back on the floor for Middle Tennessee. 20-5 this season, 12-3 in the league.
Got 2 power conference wins against Illinois and Vanderbilt.
Delgo, a nice pass back out to Meade, missed it. Jaylin Gregory has been unguardable in this one. And Boldereva trying to clean up the miss.
Yeah, right now, Middle Tennessee is playing with a ton of confidence. That happens sometimes when they've got a really good mix of veterans, especially in Woodson and Whittington, with a mixture of some young freshmen that come in and really been a big help to them.
Tori Hunter trying to go to work inside, had her shot altered, but Abdelgawad gets the offensive rebound. Nice pass back to Hunter.
Man, a lot of contact too. I'm surprised that Tori Hunter did not get a foul on either call. Looked like to me got hit right across the arm. I think that's what Coach Collins is arguing.
Alexis Mead with a great defensive play.
Ends up on the top of the camera person. Great hustle by Lexi Mead. Now she is a competitor. I mean, you're not. Lexi Mead will compete with anybody right here, and watch this hustle that time by Lexi Mead, and then saved it off Whittington's leg.
Middle Tennessee 56th right now in the net rankings, which should put them in the conversation.
It definitely should, and I'm not really 100% sure about the net.
It's magic.
It is. It's magic.
It's better than the RPI.
I agree with that.
Savory with a corner three.
That's big. Hope's coming off she struggled the last time against ODU, did not score, so it's always good to see that ball go in. And there's Whitson again.
7 of 9 from 3 now, Middle Tennessee.
Yeah, you cannot give pretty much anybody from Middle any room. That's going to be a block on Gregory. That's one of those 50-50 calls. If you're from Middle, I mean, there's a pretty good Middle contingent here in blue. You think that's a charge if you're from Western Kentucky. I would call that nothing. Just play on, to be honest with you.
But yeah,
not much.
Her momentum was already going down.
Right.
Not much of an extension there for the offensive foul. McBride back out to Blevins. Blevins trying to drive on Whitson and scores.
That's a tough shot for the freshman from Wayne County that time. Macy's known to be a three-point shooter, Blevins, and that time scored off the drive.
WKU trying to ratchet up the pressure a little bit more on Sarr and Gregory here. But a good screen opens up Gregory in the corner for 3.
Yeah, just not defending it very well at all. Dorr actually had she could have had the pull-up jumper or the wide. You can't give up a wide-open layup and give up the wide-open 3 in the corner. You got to take one away, and that time Lady Toppers did not take either one away.
Dorr Sarr has 12 points, 4 assists, and her teammate Jaylin Gregory has 11 points now with 3 threes. As Alexis Mead to the free throw line makes the first.
And they have not even put into the game Courtney Blakely, another good freshman who had 11 points against Marshall and played about 28 minutes. One thing about Coach Insel, if he does not change lineups a lot. And if you're playing well, you stay on the floor.
Well, he has the track record to prove it. 10 NCAA tournaments.
398 wins.
McBride plowing into the scorer's table. Three-pointer from the corner. Alexis Mead, the hustle play, set it all up.
That's Gabby McBride about knocked our TV set over that time and got up. And I think she said, "I'm sorry," and went on and made the play.
Into the corner 3 from Gregory. Once again, it's good.
And Gregory did not say she's sorry.
4 for 4 from 3 for Jaylin Gregory. Blevins for 3. Missed it, Abdelgawad the rebound, but here's Dorr Sarr again. Gregory back out to Whitson. Whitson for 3. And Middle Tennessee.
I'm surprised when they miss it right now.
9 of 12 from 3, and a lot of them have been open looks. So foul is called underneath. And that will.
It's going to be on Whittington guarding Abdelgawad. They've played against each other about 100 times. They're both seniors, so they know each other quite well.
Abdelgawad, the only player on WKU to be on the team and play when the Toppers last beat Middle Tennessee in 2020. She had 9 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists in January of that year, 2 years ago plus. Mead, nice pass inside to Hunter, but she wasn't ready for it.
Kind of behind the head look that time to Tori Hunter. You're right, Tori Hunter was not quite ready for it.
Courtney Blakely, the freshman guard, is in, wearing number 1 for Middle Tennessee.
Blakely has scored over 2,000 points in Indiana.
Mead back out to Blevins. And imagine a circumstance where Western has played this long and Maral Abdelgawad is just attempting her second shot. She makes it.
I was getting ready to say that too. She's going to have to get going, and she got a ball screen that time. That freed her up, and maybe that is enough to get her going. She's been in double figures 24 of the 26 games. Highly unlikely she's going to be shut down the entire game.
Averaging 19 a game. As Tori Hunter is having a strong first half as a starter, her first career start, 3 rebounds for her. Savory for 3, missed it. And Hunter grabs it. The crowd wanted a foul on the putback. And we'll take a break here. It has been guns a-blazing to start this one. Both teams red hot out of the gate. A combined 14 of 22 from 3. Middle Tennessee is on top. Breakneck pace in a rivalry matchup. Middle Tennessee out front on WKU in Bowling Green, Kentucky. And Greg Collins, in his 4th season with WKU, already has 2 20-win seasons, trying to get back there this year at 17-9 as they approach Conference USA action. And he is taking on one of the legends in coaching, both in the league and also around the country, Rick Insult, in his 17th season, approaching 400 career wins.
Yeah, both former high school coaches too, which is very dear to me. They both started off in the high school ranks and has progressed to very successful Division I college basketball coaches. 15
straight postseasons for Middle Tennessee, 5 WNITs, 10 NCAA tournaments.
Including last year. Western Kentucky comes out, and I think it's probably a good move. They switched to a matchup 2-3 zone, but you still got to match up, and that's Gregory. That's her 5th 3. Incredible shooting performance by Middle.
Already 5 of 5 in this one. Middle Tennessee, 19 scores and 31 trips.
And it's not like Western Kentucky is shooting bad either. They're 5 out of 9 from 3.
50% overall.
Yes.
And the difference has been the turnovers. 8 turnovers in 28 possessions, so a little more than 25%, which is a high rate. Now 9 and 29.
Yeah, when you're shooting well, the last thing you want to do is turn it over, because you're almost throwing away 3 points.
Courtney Blakely from Gary, Indiana.
Another freshman.
Gregory feeling it, steps back, jumper, front rim.
Yeah, that's the shot I think Western Kentucky would be happy for her to take. One of those in between a 3 and a 2.
Abdelgawad trying to drive in a lane, thought she had a foul there.
That's where that size makes a difference. Bodreva, 6'5", 6'6", rotated over that time and kind of caused that mistake. Abdelgawad, good drive right there, and there's the rotation. A little bit of a body, but the officials have been very consistent, not calling a lot.
Jaylin Foster back into the game, firing from 3 and missed.
Yeah, normally Coach Collins is probably not going to play a player with 2 fouls this late in the half, but I don't think he has a whole lot of choices right now, to be honest with you. Got to kind of keep the game within 14 or 15.
Dorsar has been fantastic, off to Jalen Gregory, who leads her team with 17, now 19 points.
Yeah, Forster that time left, and there's nothing wrong with forcing a player left, but you better have some rotation, and nobody rotated to help.
Middle Tennessee is playing great basketball late in the season. And that will stay with WKU. Jaylin Gregory, so far this season, has gone north of 20 points twice. 27 against Southern Illinois and 23 against FIU. She's at 19 in the first half.
I like her chances.
She hustles after that one and bumped into Savory. Savory wanted the foul call. Referee let it go.
Well, I watched Gregory in warm-ups, and she didn't miss a lot of shots in warm-ups either. Playing with, obviously, a lot of confidence, and it never hurts when the first couple go in.
A foul on the moving screen from Boldereva.
Boldereva mentioned to her point guard, and she was probably right. The point guard has to actually wait for the screen to go. You got to give the screener a chance to get up there, and I think that time Saar was so hungry to get to the basket that time she didn't wait for the screen and actually caused her teammate to make that foul.
She's had a freeway to the rim every time she's driven the lane. This is Foster. Back inside, Abdelgawad quickly up with it.
Yeah, good mismatch that time. Abdelgawad's about 5'11", 6 foot. She's got Gregory on her. Gregory's about 5'6".
Abdelgawad just 4 points in this first half, but 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Gregory again. Gets Blevins on her, tries to drive, nice dump off to Whitson, who couldn't handle it. Back outside for 3, Saar. WKU trying to push the issue with Meade. Blevins, the runner, got it.
That's a tough shot. That's a runner going left and shooting it right that time, and that's a tough shot by Macy Blevins.
7 points for Blevins, the freshman from Kentucky.
Middle should go for the last shot. The shot clock is off right now.
Saar guarded out front by Meade, gives it off to Gregory. Running a set here, final 5 seconds. Saar, nice touch pass inside from Gregory, right at the buzzer. Boldereva flips it in.
Great execution that time in the half by Middle.
57% shooting for Middle Tennessee, and they are roaring through this rivalry matchup, up 14 headed into halftime, 10 threes, and Jaylin Gregory leading the way with 19 points, much more at the halftime break. Back in Bowling Green, Kentucky, a little hazy outside, a little chilly still, wintertime, but this rivalry, I know it's corny, has been hot, and it's been really fun so far tonight as both teams blazing it from 3. Western Kentucky shooting 50%, but Middle Tennessee shooting 58%, 20 scores and 35 possessions. As we get ready for the second half, Middle Tennessee up 50-36. Jeff Greer, John Butler here with you. John, what do you think the conversations were like at halftime?
Well, it was short in the middle locker room because they were out with 10 minutes left on the clock. I don't know what you could say if you're middle other than you got to continue to focus. I think Western Kentucky was all about defensively. I'm interested to see what adjustments that the Lady Toppers are going to make because too many wide open shots by Middle, and I think one of the adjustments is going to be made on on how they're going to guard the ball screen.
Middle Tennessee is 17-1 when leading at the half this season. We'll see if they can improve on that record. WKU in possession with Macy Blevins, Jaylin Foster, Tori Hunter, Maral Abdelgawad, and Alexis Meade on the floor for the homestanding Tops. They'll have to drum up a comeback like they had in the third quarter of the last meeting when they came back from 18 down. Hunter trying to go to work in the post, blocked by the 6'6" Anastasia Boldereva.
Yeah, it's a tough matchup. She leads the team in blocks, obviously, and 6'6", hard to shoot over.
Dorsar, the elbow jumper, missed it. It's Dorsar, Jaylin Gregory, Boldereva, Whitson, and Whittington on the floor for Middle Tennessee, the same starting lineup. Delgawad trying to get going at some point here to give WKU something. Foster for three, missed it.
A lot of contact,
yeah.
Whittington and Delgawad both took a tumble.
And both looked at the referee wanting a foul.
Yeah. Delgawad came out with a knee pad brace on. I have not seen that all year. She looks like she's moving a little gingerly. Don't know if she took a fall earlier or whatever, but I've not noticed that this year. She did not have that on in the first half. But yeah, her and Whittington have going at it. Of course, they've played together. We mentioned that earlier. Both four-year players, and have matched up against each other a whole lot. They know each other's game quite well.
Whittington, the hometown kid, as that's Whitson trying the floater, missed it.
Yeah, good defense that time by Tori Hunter causing that.
The stops have been hard to come by for Western Kentucky so far in this game, but first minute and a half, Middle Tennessee empty on the first couple possessions.
Yeah, both like 8-footers, and I think Western Kentucky will be happy to give them middle 8-footers rather than wide open threes or layups.
2 on the shot clock. Blevins has to fire one up, front rim, missed it.
Yeah, the pace has slowed down a little bit, which is normal, to be honest with you, after that wicked first half.
Be hard pressed to go back through the play-by-play of the first half to find this many consecutive possessions
without a score.
Without a score. Saar for 3.
That was better defense that time by Lexi Meade. That was a challenge 3.
Foster out to Abdelgawad, where she does a lot of her damage in transition.
Yeah, good pass too to set that up, and that's where you're right. Abdelgawad lives on those drives, and she's one of the better finishers in the conference.
9 assists on 15 makes for Western Kentucky. Gregory missed the righty layup.
But it was challenged. In the first half, those layups weren't even challenged.
Meade all the way to the rim. She had a good look at it. Couldn't get it to fall. WKU now 8 of 13 on layups in this one. Saar for 3, had plenty of time to set her feet. And she gets the deflection on the offensive rebound to keep it alive for Middle Tennessee. And Gregory finishes off with a couple of second chance points.
Yeah, but at least it was challenged, and that was not going on in the first half. But that offensive rebound, there hadn't been a lot of offensive rebounds because there hadn't been enough misses. But that time that led to a two-pointer by Middle. 21
points for Jaylin Gregory, doubling up her season average as Alexis Meade flips in the floater. And we will take a break. It's a 12-point game. Middle Tennessee out front on WKU, but a much slower start to this second half than we saw in the first. One of the things that we talked about at halftime that Western Kentucky has to do is get Maral Abdelgawad going. And she got an early layup here in this third quarter off of a run out.
Yeah,
maybe that'll get her going.
Yeah, I mean, she's leading scorer in the conference, 19 points a game, and only has 6. And hard to envision Western Kentucky knocking off Middle unless Abdelgawad has a big game. So sometimes an easy shot or two can get you going.
Middle Tennessee trying to get its 21st win of the season as Boldereva finds the easy right-handed layup.
Well, that is the kind of the separator between Middle and a lot of the Conference USA teams. They do have an inside presence and a 6'6" kid who can play, not just out there.
Boldereva 6 points, 4 rebounds so far as Abdelgawad fires from 3, got it.
Well, that's 5 straight, and that's where that layup can kind of get you going. That's her first open look from 3. I think her first attempt from 3 as well.
She had been struggling from 3-point range coming into this. 3 of her last 21 as Foster gets the steal and the layup. And just like that, John, it's a 9-point game.
That's exactly right. Western Kentucky top 20 in the country at forcing turnovers. Middle normally does not turn it over a lot, but that was a big one.
Blakely trying to get the layup, missed it. Abdelgawad gets the rebound. wanted a foul there, her 9th board of this game. Mead off to Foster. Foster has been looking for her 3 today, 1 of 3. Final 7 on the shot for Abdelgawad. Foster driving the lane. Blevins at the shot clock buzzer and just got the backboard.
Yeah, Jaylin Foster needs to take that 3 from the top. That's a good look for a post player.
And the media timeout is coming here, but we've got a game. It was 14 points, Middle Tennessee's lead at halftime. WKU chipping away in Bowling Green with 4:55 to go in the third. There were some long faces at halftime here in Bowling Green. Middle Tennessee up 14 at the break, but there is reason for hope for the Lady Tops. They are back within single digits as Maral Abdelgawad has gotten going. She's got 9 points, 9 rebounds, and Western Kentucky is back to a 9-point deficit. A foul is called there on Alexis Mead.
Yeah, quick little foul that time. A little bit too much body contact that time by Lexi Mead. But yeah, one thing about it, with a 30-second shot clock, you're never really out of it, especially if you can play. And Western Kentucky is not going to give up, I can tell you that. So they're still in this game and doing a much better job defensively on that ball screen and challenging shots. I think that's probably the thing that's probably disappointed Coach Collins the most in the first half was the amount of unchallenged shots that Middle was getting. And they're just too good offensively to give up open shots. And that was another challenge shot that time by Middle.
A nice moment there on the tie-up between Dorsar and Gabby McBride, exchanging pleasantries.
It is a rivalry, I heard.
Well, it was a smile. It was a smiling exchange as they both held on to the ball. I wonder if maybe they were talking about their favorite Valentine's Day gift that they received, or I don't know, something nice. Where'd you eat last night in Bowling Green?
That's probably what.
Jalen Gregory misses the 3. She had not missed one in this game as a rejection. Keeps it alive, though, for Middle Tennessee. Gregory all the way to the rim, had it deflected away. And, John, you are right. This defensive effort from WKU, running Middle Tennessee off the 3-point line and defending the interior a lot better.
That's exactly right. It's not just running them off, but once you run them off, challenge the shot when it gets into the paint, and they're doing a much better job.
Gregory off to Whittington, tried to sneak it in off the glass, and it was no good. Rebound Foster.
Got a 3-on-2 advantage, and there's the pass.
Abdelgawad the layup, Mead the assist. 4 assists for Mead.
Great job of running the floor that time by Abdelgawad. I think her knee's okay.
11 points, a 7-0 run for WKU. No points for the last 2:15 and plus now for Middle Tennessee. 0 for its last 5 as Whittington is fouled. WKU wanted the travel.
May have gotten it, but Macy Blevins made contact from behind. Question was it a walk before the contact? So here's the drive that time, and is there a walk first? Probably not. Then it's going to be the call on Macy Blevins.
Blevins' first personal foul. Team third here in this third quarter. Underneath Whitson, a crafty finish.
Not only is Whitson can shoot deadly from outside, that was a nice inside move that time, a little up and under.
Back out to a 9-point game. Mead, the pull-up jumper missed. And a good hustle from McBride, but Middle Tennessee will have the basketball.
You know, Middle is very comfortable in this. Against Marshall on Thursday, they had a lead in the first half, and Marshall made a run on them, and then Middle really settled in and took control of the game. You know, they have a lot of older players outside of a couple of really good freshmen. And that's going to be a offensive foul away from the ball that time on Whitson on a push against Macy Blevins.
Hope Savory and Tori Hunter checking back in. Savory, the sophomore from Louisville, and Tori Hunter, the redshirt sophomore from Hoover, Alabama. Abdelgawad in the high post. Pulls up three, rattled it in.
Back-to-back threes by Abdelgawad. That's a nice little offensive set that time and a good ball screen that time by Tori Hunter. The lead is down to 6. It's been a long time since it's been 6.
WKU is 5 of its last 7. Abdelgawad with a couple of threes. Inside to Whitson. She had 3 defenders around her on the whistle. On the foul, I think it's on Abdelgawad.
No, I think they give it to Hunter, actually.
You're right, it is on Hunter.
I agree. It could go on either one.
Her first of the game. And John, this is an analytics guy's dream here. Middle Tennessee, 21 field goals today, 10 of them from 3, 9 of them layups. So only 2 of them are not in between those 2 areas, and then 5 of 5 from the free throw line.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And there is that thought in the game that either you take a 3 or it's a paint shot. You know, all the in-betweens are considered in many ways a kind of a wasted shot. You know, the old pull-up 15-footer is not part of the game as much as it used to be.
Savory crossing half court. This is Jenna Walker. Some reserves on the floor for WKU as Whittington does a good job on Abdelgawad. Foster for 3. Good fight from Hunter, and Foster tracked down the rebound but turned it over. 11 turnovers for WKU as Gregory missed the layup and Bouldereva missed the putback.
It was the easiest shot Gregory's had tonight and missed it.
Walker backs it out. This is a key stretch here for WKU with Alexis Mead on the bench, along with Macy Blevins, 2 of their top offensive threats. Savory to the cutting Foster, and she couldn't get the roll.
That was a good cut and good pass that time by Savory. Just missed it. Not an easy shot because you had to shoot it over 6'6" that time.
Middle Tennessee, 1 of its last 8.
Well, they were bound to cool down a little bit.
Still shooting 46% as Bouldereva missed the turnaround, but here comes Whitson flying in.
That's why Whitson, in my opinion, is one of the top players in Conference USA. She does so many little things for them.
Final minute of the 3rd quarter. What a skip pass from Dor Saar. A great find, and Whittington makes the 3.
Whittington is 8 out of 12 her last 3s going into the night. So she's been red hot.
Both teams have had to endure a couple of scoring droughts in this 3rd quarter as Western's up to 2.5 minutes. Nice pass from Hunter, but Walker, I think, maybe made that a little more difficult than she needed to.
I agree.
Shot clock and game clock are just about even here, so.
Smart play by Middle that time, pulling it back out, going for the last shot.
Dor Saar has been excellent in this game. 12 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds. Guarded by Hope Savory with 8 on the shot. Pulls up, mid-range jumper rattled out. Abdelgawad secures her double-double for this one, but the clock runs out before WKU can get much going. A lot of work put in by the Tops. And Middle Tennessee is still up 11, headed to the 4th quarter. Does WKU have another comeback in them? We'll find out after this. Maral Abdelgawad is one of the top scorers in Conference USA, averaging north of 19 points. And she only had 4 at halftime. A big 3rd quarter, though, has her to a double-double with 14 points and 10 rebounds, 10 of those points in the 3rd quarter. A huge turn of events for WKU.
Yeah, she got out on the break and made a couple of layups. You saw that nice pass by Lexi Mead, made 2 threes, and enabled the Lady Toppers to cut that margin down to 11. So she's got a double-double, but also, by the way, Courtney Whitson does as well. She's got 17 and 10. The 2 stars on both teams are playing well, Whitson and Abdelgawad.
And they've both made a number of nice plays as Whittington gets the steal, her 4th of this game. And Middle Tennessee saw their lead evaporate down to 6. And they've built it back out to 11 and now almost 13. That one rattled out on Whitson. They've led by as many as 16 in this one. Alexis Mead guarded out front by Dorsar.
Middle doing a good job of forcing baseline that time.
Nice pass from Mead. This is Selma Kulo. Lost the handle for a second. 3 on the shot clock. Blevins has to fire it from long range. And it was on line from our angle, but it skips off the backboard. And Alexis Mead under the rim wanted a foul, but is not going to get it.
That was a good defensive stand that time by Middle that time. Did a good job of taking away what Western Kentucky wanted to do. That was the correct call that time. Did not hit rim.
Even regardless of if that was a foul, I think
yeah,
the shot clock
contact
ran out. Yeah.
Right.
Inside to Boldareva. 6'6" freshman from Moscow. Trying to get on that right hand, and she gets the and one.
Yeah, I think Western Kentucky can live with basically matching up with the three-point shooters and going to try to see if they can make these inside shots. And that was a tough shot. Give her credit that time. Tough shot over Kulo. And this, the first 3 or 4 minutes of this last quarter, you know, when you're down 11, and you cannot afford to get off to a bad start early in the 4th.
The lead is back to 14 as Boldareva now has 9 points to go with 5 rebounds. Mead is tripped there. Referee said she just lost her footing, and Jaylin Gregory finishes underneath. 23 now for Gregory. She had 19 in the first half. Mead to Blevins for 3, splash down.
Mason Blevins is what she does well, especially when she has an open 3, open look. And that time she got her feet set. Give Lexi Mead credit on the inside-out assist.
Saar has also cooled off a little bit. But this time, right back in, a big shot from Dorsar.
She does not lack confidence. Played for the Israeli national team and also 4 years at Maine. Jaylin Foster from 3. That's what I said earlier. She turned down that look. That's a really a good shot for most post players from the top of the key.
She's not shot it all that well from 3 this season, but 2 of 5 today as Saar trying to get hot again, missed it. WKU trying to get out and run. Blevins to Savory for 3.
Back-to-back 3 for the Lady Toppers. Hope Savory is another one that can get hot real quick.
Hope Savory was the co-freshman of the year last year, has 6 points today with a couple of 3s. 10-point game under 7 minutes. Dorsar, a 3-time all-conference player at Maine, transferring to Middle Tennessee and pulling the strings for the Blue Raiders. Tough shot, missed it. Mead to Foster, steps into a 3, got it!
3 straight 3s. Would expect a possible timeout by Middle Tennessee this time. 3 straight 3s for Western Kentucky, a little 9-0.
Quick burst here, 4 of its last 4, WKU. And a 7-point basketball game with 6 minutes to play. And Gregory is fouled driving to the rim by Savory, a hard foul there.
Yeah, that's that ball screen that from the top of the key, and we're not, Western Kentucky's not hedging on the screen. That means stepping out. They're trying to go under the screen and jamming the screener, and that time Gregory again made a good move, got to the rim that time, forced the foul by Savory.
And that free throw gives Jaylin Gregory her now season and career high in conference play with 24 points. And at 25, she's 2 off of her season high.
And only a freshman.
Only a freshman.
True freshman,
excellent player.
Yeah, not a redshirt, true freshman.
At halftime, you could overhear some friendly banter between WKU and Middle Tennessee fans. WKU fans asking if the Middle Tennessee folks would leave Jaylin Gregory in Bowling Green. Nice drive from Blevins.
Macy's made 3 difficult drives tonight, and that time is over Whitson.
12 points for Macy Blevins. She has had a great game, 5 of 10 from the field. Whitson, big 3, got it.
Yeah, every run that Western Kentucky has made has been an answer.
Rick Insel wants a timeout, and we'll take a media timeout out of this. It's a 10-point game, but a lot to play for with 5:31 to go in this one in Bowling Green. There's a reason that Courtney Whitson out of Kingsport, Tennessee, leads Conference USA in minutes per game at 38. She's got 20 points, 10 rebounds tonight.
Yeah, I wouldn't take her out. I can tell you that. She's a heck of a player. Plays both ends of the floor, too. Plays hard. 20 points. She's 4 out of 5 from 3. Got 10 rebounds. And I think she is the glue to this really good Middle Tennessee team.
Jaylin Gregory almost getting...
She started every game in her career, too. How about that? So
Gregory almost getting her 3rd steal. Yeah, Whitson has been so consistent, and between her and Whittington, you can tell they're the glue of this team, the 2 players who have just been around for a long time. And Middle Tennessee is one of the best teams in Conference USA because of them, as Abdel Gawad gets called for the chicken wing.
Yeah, I do think she did extend the arm. It looked like the question was Whittington already going down beforehand? And no, that's the correct call. Yeah.
They've been jostling all game.
They've gone at it hard, but I think that's probably the correct call.
5 minutes left, 10-point game. Blakely, tough shot, but Boldareva is able to clean it up. Couldn't get the putback. Abdel Gawad, Savory, big 3-ball on the way, got it!
Savory gets hot, boy. She is hard to handle that time, and she sprinted ahead that time and got to the corner. Good pass by Abdel Gawad.
4 assists for Maral Abdel Gawad, 9 points for Hope Savory, and it's back to a 7-point game. Big minutes here with Dorsar on the floor, on the bench for Middle Tennessee, as Gregory finds Whitson for the easy 2.
Another play made by Gregory. That time she didn't score, but she assisted on the play. Done a little bit of everything tonight. Jaylin Gregory, 25 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. Pretty good night. Pretty good nights in Bowling Green. And the whistle goes, I believe it's going to be a timeout, so Greg Collins can give the officials a little bit of an earful. It's going to be a 30-second timeout for WKU with 15 on the shot clock and 4:08 in the game. And Greg Collins is giving the officiating crew an earful.
Yeah, I think it goes back to the Abdel Gawad Whittington offensive foul. I think Coach Collins felt like that she was that Whittington had put a knee into her before the foul. I think that's what he was arguing.
Well, Rick Insel also giving the officiating crew a little bit of an earful.
You're probably doing a good job when you hear it equally from both coaches. Now, Coach Collins is normally very calm. He does not say a lot. Coach Insel, I've seen at times he can get into an official.
Only 3 fouls called in this 4th quarter.
I think overall it's been well officiated.
It has.
Yeah, because I haven't noticed them, and that's generally a good sign. And it really helps when the ball goes in and both teams are shooting so well, there's not a lot of rough play because you're taking the ball out rather than fighting for rebounds.
WKU has played really well offensively. 15 assists on 26 makes. The difference is they're -7 in turnovers. That's 7 extra possessions for Middle Tennessee. Foster for 3.
What a game for Foster.
22 points for Jaylin Foster, 4 of 7 from 3-point range.
So definitely a career high for Jaylin, for sure. Another one of these really good freshmen. Lead down to 6.
Jaylin Foster made 4 threes all season coming into this one. And both teams have 13 threes today. Saar, tough shot. Took a bad bounce for WKU and ended up with Whittington. And this time is a foul called, I believe, on Blevins.
Well, that's a tough call. They're going to call Blevins on the blackout against Whitson. That was not a real popular call in Bowling Green. Looked like the Lady Toppers had a rebound that time. Oh boy, that's not a lot there. Pretty good blockout.
I do wonder if the officials see a player looking 90 degrees basically and think it's a foul regardless, as Saar makes another huge three, her 4th of the game. She's got 18. Gotta love the fire in Dor Saar. Every time she shoots it and makes it, she lets out a scream, but Jaylin Foster has been fantastic for WKU and draws the foul shooting a 3.
Yeah, that time the 3, obviously when you made 4, you're going to draw Bodareva out, and that time Bodareva fouled her after the 3, well, during the made contact at the 3. Jaylin Foster goes up to the line and makes the first one. Not a great free throw shooter, but when you've got 27 points, your confidence is out of the roof.
Came into this game at 51.4% from the free throw line, but as John said, 9 of 14 from the field, 4 of 7 from 3, and makes all 3 free throws. She's got 25 points.
And another interesting thing about Jaylin, she did not, her first game she ever played was high school. It was not on the AAU, market early in her career.
What a story she is, and she's got her team back within 6 under 3 minutes to play.
And Western Kentucky is going to give Middle, it's obvious what they want to do is going to take the 3 away and won't give them as many contested inside shots as possible.
Final 8 on the shot clock. Dor Saar guarded by Abdelgawad. She's shifty. Good pass to Whittington. 1 on the shot clock, and it goes just at the buzzer, Whittington.
Big shot by the senior.
5 points for Whittington. Jumper from Meade is good. It's a 2. And a timeout, I believe. Yep. Oh, they're going to review it.
Yeah, they're going to review and see if it's a 2 or a 3.
And
now, the referee called it 2, and they're going to take the review.
It's Bill Lawrence and Doug Knight saying in agreement with each other that they're going to review it, and Carla Fountain coming over to make sure that we knew that that's exactly what they're doing.
It's the black line, and it is a 2 right there.
It's a long distance 2, about as long as you could.
It's the Kevin Durant toe that may have cost them the playoff run last year. I think that was the correct. It is a 2. We give the officials credit. It does give Western Kentucky an opportunity to set up their defense right here.
They've got 1 timeout left with 2:18 to go. Alexis Meade, 13 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. And John, how about this for Jaylin Foster? 3 other times this season, she tied her season and career high at 13 points. She's almost doubled that today with 25.
Yeah, I mean, against a good team, too. I mean, it's not like, it's against a team that's 4 and 28. This is a really good team, and 19th in the country in defense efficiency as well, Middle.
Inbound to Whitson, and now Dor Saar is going to try to take Teresa Faustino off the dribble. Down to the 2-minute mark. Saar trying to take this game over. A graduate student guarded by Abdelgawad. 10 on the shot. Saar back up 3, in and out. Savory. Foster thought about the 3 instead, inside to Abdelgawad. Tries to get to her left, and a foul called on Whittington.
Yeah, good patience that time by Western Kentucky that time. Jaylin Foster made a good decision that time. She did not force a 3 and fed it inside to the post off Abdelgawad and caused that foul. And there's nothing better than making 2 with the clock stopped. And got a lot of ball that time, but Western Kentucky had take the 2 free throws.
Referee Carla Fountain saying it was with the body. You can see her motioning. Whittington pushed her out. That has been a real battle between those two
seniors.
Whittington, the last game, had 11 points and 12 rebounds, 4 steals. Abdelgawad, 13 points and 7 boards. Today, Abdelgawad, 14 points, 13 rebounds, now 15 points, to go with 4 assists.
It's the closest, 5 points is as close as it's been since the first half.
It has been a fun game. It started out with Middle Tennessee just absolutely tearing up the net, but WKU has clawed back twice now in this second half from as big of a deficit as 16 points. Final minute and a half and a steal by Foster. Here comes Abdelgawad, and she's fouled at the rim.
They took it right into Whitson that time, and another great play by Foster on the steal.
Jaylin Foster has 3 steals.
It's going to be on Gregory, I'm sorry, not Whitson.
Abdelgawad wanted the intentional foul there. It's not a winning argument, but she will go to the free throw line to shoot a couple.
Down to 4. Regardless of what happens, the young Lady Toppers, a tremendous effort just to get back into this game.
They've made all 8 of their last 8 field goals. And they have it to a single possession with 1:15 to play. What a game in Bowling Green.
Faustino has done a good job, her limited minutes, coming in and guarding Sarr.
Whitson guarded by Abdelgawad. Sarr. Under a minute to go. Gregory. 7 on the shot. Got to do something. Inside to Boldereva, guarded by Abdelgawad. She missed it. Rebound, Western Kentucky. Abdelgawad trying to get to the rim, flipped it up and in! And one! Maral Abdelgawad!
There was no doubt coming down the floor she was going to the basket.
What a turn of events!
Another rebound that time by Foster, and here comes Abdelgawad, and she was going to go to the rack and took Gregory right to the rim that time, and she's one of the best finishers in the country. Got an opportunity to turn this 18 points. I think it was down 18 at one time. Got a chance to tie it.
Abdelgawad has 19 points, 13 boards.
Incredible second half for her, and an unbelievable fourth quarter for the Lady Toppers.
They were down 50-36 at halftime. And 11 at the end of the third quarter. This one to tie it is good.
Be a timeout Middle.
Timeout Middle Tennessee. We've got a tie game at Diddle Arena. What a matchup this has been. It was a 16-point Middle Tennessee lead. It's down to 0 with 41.5 to go. A full timeout on the floor for Middle Tennessee to talk things over.
Well, one of the big changes that has been made for Western Kentucky to enable them to get back in this game is defensively. They made, I thought, a real critical change. They're switching almost all these ball screens, where earlier they were kind of jamming the cutter and giving a lot of free lanes. Right now they're just switching, and just whoever gets the big kid, they're just going to guard her one-on-one inside. And Middle has been much more efficient from threes than they have inside. And I think that's been a really good move that time by Coach Collins. Plus, it certainly didn't hurt to knock down shots themselves. And Western Kentucky has been red hot this quarter.
Well, you mentioned Boldereva getting kind of isolated in the post, coming into this game shooting 48% from the field. She's 4 of 10 today. But in that first half, John, to your point, Sarr and Jalen Gregory, whenever they would drive, they would just seemingly turn a corner and have nobody in front of them and either pick that corner pass or get to the rim for a layup.
Correct, and they did make an adjustment. Right now they're switching everything. And I'll tell you what, Faustino has not scored a point. He's only played in the last 4 or 5 minutes. Has done a really good job defensive out here. She's guarding she's primarily guarding Sarr. She is guarding Sarr. They've actually moved Lexi Mead to guard Gregory.
Meade, Savory, Faustino, Abdelgawad, and Foster on the floor for Middle Tennessee as Jalen Gregory gets a layup and missed. Out of the timeout, 30 seconds to go. Alexis Meade with it. A 5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Dorsar guarding Meade. One timeout for WKU if they want to use it, but it doesn't look like Greg Collins is going to do that. 100 miles separate these two rivals, and they're playing like next-door neighbors. Abdelgawad to the rim, and that's the lead for WKU! 7.7 to play, timeout Middle Tennessee.
And again, a great set and a great decision by Foster. They got Abdelgawad posting up on Gregory. Middle Tennessee made a mistake where Whittington has been guarding Abdelgawad all night, but on that transition that time, she got matched up with Gregory, and that's a big advantage for Western Kentucky. Abdelgawad against Gregory on the post.
WKU is now 10 of its last 10. Middle Tennessee a scoring drought of 220, and as a result, Western Kentucky's 10-0 run has them in the lead, the first lead of the game.
Yeah, first lead, and for a young team, Western Kentucky did not even call timeout. Give him credit that time. Give the Lady Toppers credit. They ran the shot clock down, and they made the right decision that time to get it to their senior. Now let's see now what Middle's going to do. They've got shooters everywhere, and the one thing you can't do if you're Western Kentucky is you can live with the 2 to tie. You cannot. You don't want an uncontested 3 to beat you. And I think Western Kentucky will probably switch every screen, contest the 3, and if they beat you on, if they tie it on a 2, they tie it on a 2.
Middle Tennessee does have a number of options. Do you think they're looking for any one or just a good shot?
A good shot, but I'd want Whitson to have it personally.
7.7 to go. Whitson off to Gregory, driving all the way to the rim and tied it. 4.6 to play.
Well, they probably didn't want it that easy. Good set that time by Middle. They got it to Whitson and then an immediate handoff to Gregory. Gregory took it out, and sometimes the person that takes it out kind of gets lost that time. And she made a good little shuffle cut off of her for the score. The beauty of the women's game is you call a timeout, you get it at half court.
Woo! You could argue, and this is a video game player's argument here, but 4.6 seconds, they almost allowed too much time for WKU.
That's true. There's plenty of time, but 4.6 is forever. You do want it fairly quickly in the hands. I would in Abdelgawad. Probably Abdelgawad or Lexi Meade are the two creators on the floor. The first big issue is you got to get the ball in bounds. And a couple of weeks ago when Western Kentucky was in this situation, they had a really hard time getting the ball in on these side out of bounds.
It was a turnover that cost them the game. And WKU now tied 83-83. What a game this has been. Foster, the clock's running, turns, fires for the win, and rattled out. Jaylin Foster had a good look kind of unexpectedly, and we are headed to overtime, tied at 83. Don't go anywhere. What a game this has been. Middle Tennessee led by as many as 16, including in the fourth quarter. And Western Kentucky has come all the way back.
WKU is home for big dreamers, for those who shape the future, who set their sights high, accept challenges, fuel their passions, for those with a desire to create a better tomorrow. You don't come here to prepare for one thing. You come here to prepare for everything. You belong on this hill, where we engage, learn, grow, and celebrate together. Climb with us at Western Kentucky University.
If you expected a rivalry game to produce some fireworks, then you picked a good time to watch the basketball, because WKU and Middle Tennessee have put on an absolute show here in Bowling Green. Middle Tennessee jumped out to a 16-point lead. They had 50 points at halftime, including 32 points in that first quarter, blazing hot from three. But WKU has slowly but surely clawed back in the second half, scoring 33 points in the fourth quarter. They've made each of their last, well now, 10 of their last 11 shots after Jaylin Foster's potential game winner missed. And that is where we end up going overtime. Jeff Greer, John Butler here with you. We hope you've enjoyed this game so far. We have. And what's 5 more minutes between friends?
I mean, that's exactly right. 33-22, what a finish for about Western Kentucky. Both teams, 14 of 25 from 3 middle. Western Kentucky, 13 of 25. That is an incredible offensive play.
And the tip is won by WKU. Morale Abdelgawad corralled it. 22 points, 13 boards for her. The ball's in her hands, and she tries to get to the rim and flips it up and in again.
About as good as it gets. If she gets her shoulders in front of you, it's hard to stop. And she goes left and can score with her right hand as good as anybody I've ever seen.
Whittington just so frustrated with some of these finishes that Abdelgawad has had. Dorsar out front. Nice hesitation dribble all the way to the rim.
Yeah, it's a big-time move that time by Sar.
20 points for her. 3 20-point scorers for Middle Tennessee. Jaylin Foster has 25 for WKU. Trying to take it in off Bouldereva, kicks it back out to Savory. Savory up and under, couldn't get the roll. And Meade came up with the offensive rebound, the smallest player on the floor. Always a pest around the offensive glass.
Yeah, she's a bulldog out there. I mean, she is a tremendous rebounder for her size. Calls that foul on Whitson.
Teresa Faustino coming in for Macy Blevins as Alexis Meade will head to the free throw line. The freshman from Moreno Valley, California, went to Martin Luther King High School. 14 points for her.
Yeah, 77% from the line.
Couple of big ones.
Well, I said before the game, too, and Abdelgawad and Meade have to play well, and they have. The wild card has been Jaylin Foster, career high for Western Kentucky.
39 points between Meade and Abdelgawad, and a good 5 turnovers for them after Meade had 6 in the last game for WKU by herself. Bouldereva. Isolated out front, now Whitson. Back to Bouldereva, good up fake. And she gets the layup as the shot clock runs down.
That's very good fundamentals that time. That was a shot fake at the free throw line, and Foster went for the shot fake, and she went right by her.
What a game. I know I keep saying it, but this thing has been ratcheted all the way up. Teams trading buckets. Foster for 3. Missed it. Abdelgawad the offensive board. Savory trying to get it into Abdelgawad. Instead drives. And an offensive foul called, much to the chagrin of WKU's bench.
That was Whittington that time making a play. Like her and Whitson seem to make a lot of those tough plays, defensive plays.
Well, Rick Insel said,
well, I don't know about that. She was definitely moving that time. I don't even know if that's anything, to be honest with you.
He said that Whittington has spent a long time of her career, quote unquote, in the shadows, but she has really emerged as a critical piece of this Middle Tennessee team over the last couple seasons.
Going to be an offensive foul on Whitson. She's
exchanging offensive fouls.
Yeah, she's trying to get offensive position inside, and her arm came around and hit Lexi Meade in the face that time. That's what happens when it's 6 foot against 5'6" sometimes. That time the win goes to the 5'6" player. As you can see that right there.
Faustino to Abdelgawad. Approaching the halfway mark of this first overtime. We'll see if there's more. As Savari says, I don't want any more. 12 points for Hope Savari, all from 3-pointers.
And that's an assist again from Abdelgawad. They doubled her on the post and made the right decision to Savory. And Savory does not need a lot of time to shoot.
Abdelgawad has 5 assists. Gregory for 3, but the offensive foul was called on Sar. Her momentum carrying her through Savory.
And Savory makes the 3 on one end and takes the charge on the other one.
Sar was arguing that Savory was inside the arc.
It doesn't look like it. Nope, she was outside the arc. And I'm not for sure if it matters on the pass. If it's a shoot, you know, if you're shooting, I do think it matters. But on the pass, I don't think it even matters. But her foot was outside the line anyway.
Well, you see Rick Insell and his son, or Insell, excuse me, and Matt Insell having a conversation with the officials here.
Yeah, I'm really not sure what they're waiting on, to be honest with you.
Both of these teams have made 14 three-pointers. Middle Tennessee has 10 more shot attempts. A big reason for that being +5 in turnovers. They've done a good job on the offensive glass. But here we are with WKU holding its biggest lead of the game and a chance to make it a 2-possession lead. 2 minutes to play. Foster around Boldareva, draws the foul.
That's what you call confidence. Jaylin Foster would not have made that play earlier in the game, but when you are sitting on a career high, 25 points, you just have the confidence to make the play. She drew out Boldareva and just went right by her.
Jaylin Foster has been electric today. Season highs in everything in terms of shooting and scoring, up to 27 points.
Another true freshman.
And what a statement win this would be for WKU, but they've got a long way to go, only up 5 with 1:45 to go. Dorsar on the possession, 3-ball, missed it. Fight for the rebound and a foul called on Whitson.
That's her 4th, and that was not a good shot by Dorsar. That was early in the shot clock, and that was a challenge 3, and that was good defense on Lexi Mead and a really good block out that time by Abdelgawad.
These players are starting to log some serious minutes. Middle Tennessee, everyone on the floor has played 38 or more minutes.
What's a little surprising that Malashka, who averages 12.9 a game, has only played 3 minutes the whole game.
That is bizarre. We haven't seen her at all. The coaching staff is talking to her. And WKU has had its fair share of players playing a ton of minutes, 4 of them at 32 plus. It's a 7-point game as Gregory's 3 is good. She's got 30, a new career and season high.
Yeah, and that's her first real clean look of the second half.
That was awfully close to over and back on that pass, but Abdelgawad left just in time. 1:05 to go. Foster a big 3, missed it. And Whitson comes down with another board, her 11th. Gregory for 3. And Abdelgawad grabs the board and draws the foul.
Well, Western Kentucky very, very fortunate. That's a great look that time by Gregory. She has not missed many. In fact, she's only missed 1 3 all night. And just missed it that time, and there's Abdelgawad again on another rebound.
Well, she won't get a career high unless she gets 3 more here tonight. She has 16 boards. She did have 19 against UT Martin back in November, but she misses the free throw there. So many players have had excellent games in this.
26 points and 16 rebounds.
Unbelievable performance.
And that may not be the best performance of the night.
It's a 5-point ball game, 53.7 to go. Whittington off to Saar. Middle Tennessee's got to start getting some points in a hurry here. Horn set, Whitson out front. Off to Saar, and an offensive foul called on Whitson.
That's 5.
And that is
That's her 5th.
5 on her.
Yep, that was the correct call. It was a ball, it was a handoff that time, and Whitson turned her shoulder, and you got to get set just like any other ball screen. And that time she didn't, and turned right into Lexi Mead, and that was the right call.
Jada Granum, a 6'3" sophomore from Ontario, Canada, was about to come in, but Courtney Blakely actually is the one who gets sent in instead. As they get it ahead to Abdel-Gawad. 8-second difference in the shot clock and game clock.
Middle's got to foul.
They're trying to get the turnover as defense is really ramped up. Here's Abdel-Gawad into the lane. And they're playing keep away here as Middle Tennessee at this point is not going to foul, and Meade with the up and under. That may be the dagger. 7-point lead, 12.1 to go.
It really, what a play to end the shot clock. Perfect play that time for Western Kentucky to run it all the way down and then score to go up 7. And it almost looks like with Middle that they have almost lost their fight, but it just looks like after the big comeback, you can almost look out their faces that, you know, we've kind of gave one away.
There's a 30-second timeout on the floor, which is why we're staying here. And Alexis Meade giving up a foot to Anastasia Boldareva.
She's not scared of anybody. Do they still have ESPN Classics? Because this is a classic right here.
This is one of the best games that I have seen in a long time.
Obviously, right now, you do, from Western Kentucky, you do not want to give up a 3.
Gregory to inbound, 12.1. Off to Whittington, has to turn and heave, and she made it.
Not over.
Of course. The 16th three-pointer of the game for Middle Tennessee gets it to a 4-point deficit with 8.9 to go.
Yeah, it is never, ever over. You can never relax, especially when you face a team like Middle who can shoot it. And anytime you can force a team to take the ball out on the side like this, the advantage is, you know, you don't have to go full court, but the disadvantage is this is not an easy side out of bounds. Middle either has to get the steal or an instant foul. I mean, there's not a lot of choices right now for Middle.
There's enough fouls now on Middle Tennessee that anything will send WKU to the line to shoot 2.
What makes this difficult for Western Kentucky, too, is they are out of timeout, so they've got to get the ball in. And, you know, one of the things I would tell my players, if you're going to throw it, and at the very end, at least throw it underneath your own basket. You don't want to throw it the other way.
Nothing easy off the throw-in. Well, Middle Tennessee led by 16. And WKU has come all the way back here in overtime, and Jaylin Foster draws the foul from Amanda Whittington, who has checked in here to...
It's the twin sister of Alexis.
Yeah, to come in and has a couple fouls to give. 7.6 on the clock. And Western Kentucky is 17 of 23 from the free throw line.
Middle will call timeout, their last timeouts, and they'll get to advance it here if they rebound.
And the deflection there, going to say that they need to review it. Carla Fountain, the referee underneath, is immediately motioning to review because I don't think she had a clean look at it. It was a good fight for the rebound between Faustino and I think Saar. Or excuse me, it was Gregory. I didn't get a clean. It's always tough on these because their hands are both moving in the same direction. That may be Faustino.
Yeah, I don't
coming over the top.
Yeah, the referee ruled it middle ball, and I don't think there's enough to overturn that. So those are 2 big misses of Jaylin. She could have probably iced it, and with 6.2 seconds. Middle just needs to score. 3 would be preferable if you're Middle, but they have no. If they want to advance it to half court, I assume they'll have to call timeout. You can't advance it to half court off a review. So they would be out of timeouts if they take it at half court. Regardless, what a game! You know, just look at, you know, we got one 30-point score in Gregory, right?
2 27-point scores, 5 players for WKU in double figures. Foster and Abdel-Gawad both had 27. And Abdel-Gawad also has 16 rebounds. And for Middle Tennessee, you've got Jalen Gregory with 30 points, made 11 shots. Dor Saar has 20 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. And Whitson had 22 points and 11 rebounds. She was excellent as well. So a fun game. And Middle Tennessee had 5 players. Their starters all play 40-plus minutes. And you have to wonder if maybe they ran out of gas a little bit in overtime.
Could be. It's before then they were running out of gas. I mean, Western just Kentucky made the incredible run, 33-22 in the fourth quarter. And the defensive adjustments that I think Western Kentucky made, it's going to be Middle's ball, and that will force Middle to now call the timeout if they want to advance it. Yeah, so it's now a 30-second, and Middle will get it at half court. 6.2 seconds, and after this, they cannot stop the clock.
So if Middle Tennessee wants to pull off a miracle, they're going to have to get a very quick bucket and a very quick foul.
Or turnover.
Or turnover in 6.2 seconds. There's a lot that has to happen, but it's not entirely crazy to think that it could.
Not the way this game has gone.
This would be a big win for WKU. It's been a frustrating later portion of this season.
Well, with the loss of Maya Meredith, I mean, this would be by far a monster win and the best win on the schedule this year, too, if they can beat their rival right here. They got to hold on.
Started 7-0 in the league as Whittington fires up a 3, missed it. There's a fight for the rebound underneath. It's stolen away, and that'll be how it ends. WKU trailed by 16 and came all the way back to tie it, force overtime, and win 97-93. For Olive Delgawad, 27 points, 16 rebounds. Jaylin Foster with 27 to overcome Jalen Gregory's 30. And Middle Tennessee, your final thoughts, John?
Regardless of which side you're on, great college basketball game with players. What I like about it, players made plays. And what a fun game. Great shooting, 97-93. Big win for the Lady Toppers.
Well, that's what college basketball is all about. These two rivals separated by 100 miles. They're supposed to dislike each other. It's a rivalry Saturday in the end of the season, and boy, did they produce. What a game. We had fun at Diddle Arena, and WKU comes away with a 4-point overtime win. For John Butler, I am Jeff Greer. We hope this warmed you up for your Saturday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Saying goodbye from Bowling Green.
The preceding program has been a presentation of the Hilton